Okay, so we're going to look at the chords for These Boots Are Made for Walking by Nancy Sinatra. The chords we're going to use in this tune are E major, A7th, and G. So there are actually two guitar parts in this tune. I'm going to show each one and then also show you how you can combine the two together if you only have one guitar player. So the first thing to talk about is the chords in the verse. So it's all based around E major to begin with. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to lift our first finger off to an E minor and then place it back down, so you get that kind of sound. And then we're going to do the same, putting our little finger down on the second fret of the G string. That gives you what's called an E sus4. But again, it's just like a passing note. This is the sound we're going for. Within the chord itself. And that gives it that sense of forward momentum. We should talk about the rhythm in the right hand. What we want to be doing with our right hand in this section is we want to be marking out 16th notes. So if we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, our right hand should be going 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. And then our strong accented beats would be the second downstroke in each group of 4, so that would be the and of the beat. So to give you an example, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And how that combines with what the left hand's doing is something like this. So we do that for a few bars, and then we move to an A7th. Now if you don't know how to play an A7th, it's just like your A major chord here, where you have your first, second and third fingers on the second fret of the G, D, G and B strings respectively. And then we just take off our middle finger so that G string is open. And then we're using the exact same rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Be careful when playing that chord not to hit this open E string, otherwise you get, which sounds kind of nasty. Then we return to the original strumming pattern on the E. And then our chorus just alternates between a G and an E minor. E minor is just the same as your E major but without the first finger, so that G string rings open. And the rhythm is very similar for this bit, or you can play it exactly the same. And that is the entirety of the tune for the rhythm part. Now the second guitar part is played on an electric guitar. That other part is played on an acoustic on the record, but you can play it on the electric. Just don't have your volume too loud. And you can strum away at it. The second guitar part only plays in that chorus. That section where she sings, "These boots are made for walking." And what the second guitar it does is it just plays a single note line starting on the third fret of the E string, and then it walks down 2nd fret, open string, and then back up again, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, and it just repeats that a few times. You see that follows the root notes of the chords that the other guitar is playing, and the rhythm is. Now, if you only have one guitar player, you can do something quite clever where you combine the two. So when you're playing that G chord, instead of just playing the G and then going straight to an E minor, you can actually do that little walk down at the same time. So you can go. So I'll do it again really slowly. And you play that G to E 3 times, and then there's a hard stop on the E minor while she sings, "One of these days these boots are going to walk all over you." And then we're back round to the beginning again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for the very ending of this tune, if you do have 2 guitars, one of the guitars can actually double what the bass and the brass are doing on the record, which is just a little riff in E. I guess the easiest way to play it would be you've got your hands about up here in the kind of middle of the neck. Your 3rd finger will be around the 7th fret, your 1st finger around the 5th fret. And what we're going to do is we're going to play 7th fret on the A string, then our open E string, and then 7th fret on the E string, 5th on the A string, 6th on the A string, and then back to the 7th. So it's kind of like. And up to speed, it would be. Just adds an extra little touch to the very end.